Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Alrighty, a few things here on the morning of Tuesday, the 2nd of September. Welcome to Septiembre. But alright, yeah, so I think bigger picture, you look at a few of the monthly chart on the SMH, for example. I got this big, beautiful squeeze, the monthly chart here on the XLK. Nice squeeze, good squeeze here for the Google monthly. And then you have the Amazons, a 3-day and a 2-day squeeze. Tesla's got some squeezes. Nvidia has some squeezes. I do think they make for a good Q4 called the end of year push. Before that, though, we maybe have to sit through, we'll find out taking it day by day, but we maybe have to sit through what I think could be a good buyable pullback. So if we jump back to the NASDAQ futures, they're down about 1% here this morning. Looking at that daily time frame, pretty much for the entire month of August, it kind of on and off back here on that daily squeeze. Right? They print it and they take it off, they print it. One thing we never got all month, momentum back on the buy side. They had good structure, good trend, again, pretty big daily squeeze. But down there on your MACD bars, they hook negative back on the 1st of August. And that can make calling for a breakout, a big leg higher, a little bit trickier. What we tend to get when we lose momentum is a little bit more like this. They dump it, they pop it, they think about the breakout. They pull it back in, they pop it, and now from the ground up, we have a sell trigger on the 2-hour, the hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute, and the 5-minute. That all being said, if they begin the break and close back below that daily 50, I do think a better chance in the short term. That daily squeeze might want to go and break short. Bigger picture, what that might give you is your first pullback to your weekly 21 EMA. So if we jump over here to the weekly futures, first things first, a beautiful chart. 15 points at a 15, structure, trend, and the Momo. All pretty bullish, and you bottom back here in April. They give the old girl a good, let's see, what is this? Right, they give her a good 45% pop off the bottom without actually ever coming back and back testing that 21 EMA, which I think at some point they have to do. They bottom, they pump, they get momentum, they get better structure, they get the weekly buy trigger. Makes for a good looking chart. In terms of trend, we're going to learn a lot more here on that pullback. So again, if they can take out the daily 50, you maybe see that daily squeeze fire short here in the short term. And again, I think that maybe gets you down for your first back test of your weekly 21, which I don't think you jump in and blindly buy immediately. But if they can hold it there, keep the structure, keep the trigger, and they keep that perfect score of 15, that might be the buy the dip opportunity for the end of year push. So keep an eye on that for a few of our trades here. The good news for now is that things we're in, I would eventually like for them to be bigger than average size. So for example, just for conversation's sake, if your average position size is say 2.5%, these are kinds of things I'm looking for closer to 5, maybe even 10%. Just me and my risk tolerance. For now, we have in Tesla, I've got half my average size. I've got about half my average size in Amazon and only a third of my average size in Google. That translates to, I do want to add more on the dip. So for our Google trade, we have the 250 calls for December. And again, a 250 call for December. It's an idea you're trying to give plenty of time. Thinking there being, unless the market totally craps a bed, into that November, December, January, they should get a push going off the monthly squeeze. 15 points went from the green arrow to the white arrow. But here's the thing, it'll be a really bullish monthly squeeze down to 200, 190, 180. My preference is, we don't have to sit through a pullback all the way down to a $1.80. But with only a third of my average size, I do want to buy more. At some point, I'd like for it to be a bigger than average size. So Google, I don't mind a flush if we get one. And then for the Amazon October call debit spreads, playing that one off of the 3-day and the 2-day squeeze. And again, I've got half my size, and I want to add the other half down to about 220. They dump her and you're breaking 220 with conviction. I maybe cut it loose and move on to a greener pasture. But Amazon, small size and plenty of time. And then same thing for the call debit spreads on Tesla, which also expire out in October. You have the weekly, the 3-day, and the 2-day squeeze. We took the initial entry here off of the 2-day time frame. And yeah, half my typical size, I want to buy more down to about 320-ish. They break the 320, then maybe not so much. But again, guys, bigger picture, you look across the monthly charts, weekly charts, 3-day time frames, 2-day time frames, everything's pretty bullish. But at the same time, look at a lot of your weeklies, cash S&Ps, cash QQQ. They've got the perfect 15 points, awesome structure, good trend, bull momentum. What we haven't got since we bottomed back in March and April, the back test of your weekly 21. And yeah, in the short term, that'll be for the QQQ. If we do go there, it'll be a good 4.5% to 5% pullback. They'll try to paint that in the bearish fashion, right? Markets in the turmoil, whether it be a 5-minute, a 15-minute time frame, a 30-minute, a monthly, a weekly, 2.5-minute time frame, pullbacks to rising 21 EMAs with a buy trigger, a perfect score of 15, good structure, and good trend. In most cases, till the picture changes, makes for, I think, a good buying opportunity. The context being, say, the semiconductors pullback. If you can catch a good buy the dip on the SMH, you're buying the dip into what? I think one of the better monthly charts in the entire market. Trades 290, they could dump it back into about 250, 240. Monthly chart is still perfect. The monthly chart on the XLK, right? They pull that into 255, 250, 240, 230. It's a pullback into a perfect monthly squeeze. The Google chart. So again, short term, NQ's looking a little suspect. Daily squeeze, daily 50, few lower time frame sell triggers. If they break it short, that maybe, again, gives you a pullback to the weekly 21. In the grand scheme of things, I think could make for pretty good buying opportunity. So be patient. And for us here in the room, when the market opens up here in 2 hours and change, we'll check our live rankings, and we're maybe thinking more day trade. My assumption here this morning is we go to more of a neutral market. Indices will drop in scores, Big Ten basket, a lot of your sectors, but I don't think things will flip all really bearish. And we haven't had a bearish board since, again, back in March and April. But all right, peeps, few things there for the open. We are long Google, Amazon, Tesla for October and December. The kinds of things based on the squeeze or structure, I want to, with patience, of course, but I want to eventually work up into bigger than average size. For now, I've got the smaller than average, which frankly can make it easier sitting through a bit of a dipper. But all right, y'all, thank you again for those of you in my room. I'll see you for the open. For the rest of you, talk to you later in the week. Adios.